Hello people, Mongoose again, and it seems like ages since I did a bargain hunt video, and I thought I'd share with you some pickups. I haven't got any footage this time because basically, well, the weather's turning a bit crap, the boot sales are stopping, and I haven't really been going anywhere new or exciting. It's basically, you know, the same 3 or 4 or 5 charity shops in my local area, and I don't really think that warrants, you know, like its own video. You know, you've seen that a lot. So in the future, you know, the near future, I'm going to make, you know, an effort to go to somewhere different, you know, further afield, and hunt charity shops and stuff over the next coming month. But up until then, I thought I'd just do like a pickups video anyway and just show you some of the stuff I've been getting. Now all of this is like the accumulation of, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks of just popping in, you know, once a week and just seeing what, you know, these 4 or 5 different charity shops in my local area I've got. So like I say, no footage, but I got plenty of good stuff, and the best thing is I paid next to nothing for it anyway. Right, so God, this has gone back probably even a month now when I picked these up and I put them on my Twitter. This was British Heart Foundation. I was really chuffed to get some of these. A couple I already had. I got a Final Fantasy X Platinum and a limited edition Resident Evil 4, both complete in box. Now I have a normal Resident Evil 4, and there's a guy, a subscriber, and followers, we follow each other on Twitter as well. Thomas Maven, I believe the guy's name is, and yeah, I'm going to send him this and yeah, Resident Evil 4, the normal one, because obviously I've got doubles and I know he was after them. So if you're watching, mate, don't think I'm forgetting. I will get them to you, I promise. It's just I'm friggin' useless. Yeah, so I mean, that was $1.99 for Resident Evil 4, and that was 99 pence for Final Fantasy X. Next up, I got Final Fantasy X-2, again 99 pence. I haven't played this. I've played 10. It's good. I haven't played 10-2, so that'll be fun to play. 99 pence, can't wrong. Mortal Kombat Deception. I mean, what else do we need to say? It's Mortal Kombat. It's complete just mental beat 'em up brutality, and yeah, I love it. This is kind of when they started going off and they started having like mini games. So we've got like chess combat and puzzle combat on here as well. It's got the Conquest Adventure as well, which is loads of fun. So I look forward to playing that. I know they started putting a lot of mini games into that games when they got to the PlayStation 2 era. I seem to remember, which one is it? Armageddon. It's got like a kart racing game, which is loads of fun as well. 99 pence for that. So when I see PS2 games that cheap, I'm going to pick them up. Now these two chuffed to bits to get. Metal Slug 3. I've got it on original Xbox, but I wanted the PS2 version and I got it for 99 pence as well. British Heart Foundation. I picked all these up in the same day as well, and yeah, it was great because I hadn't been in there for a while, and I hadn't really found much the past like few times I'd gone in there, and I pretty much, I mean, I was always slagging them off really because they were overpricing their games. I think they've kind of come to the realisation that that was maybe a silly thing to do. So yeah, their games are dropped to $1.99 and 99 pence, which I'm always happy to pay, especially when it's a great game like Metal Slug. And I mean, I don't think it was this, it was probably the original. My local leisure centre had the arcade version of this, and I just used to play it to death. I think I used to take money off my dad to go swimming and just pump it all into the arcade and the pool machine. Yeah, Metal Slug, gotta love it. Just quirky humour, amazing side scroll and shoot 'em up, brilliant. Now this next one I was really chuffed to get. Intellivision Lives, and basically it's one of those you know, like combinations of just games for multiple systems, or like arcade companies. There's a Midway Treasures one I've got. There's also a Mega Drive collection one I've got. But the thing about the Intellivision, it's something I don't have like a direct connection to. Like I never played it, but you know, I've seen loads about it, like obviously watching videos on YouTube and stuff, and it's something I've always been interested to try out, and I can kind of get that experience with this without, you know, spending the money that I'm sure comes with buying an Intellivision. And I've played this, and there's some, you know, crazy games. I mean, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the voice module that went with the Intellivision, but yeah, you got the whole B-17 bomber and stuff like that. And I've actually played that game, and it's quirky to say the least. But there are some like really fun games. There's a lot of like rip-offs of arcades, so you know you'll get a Space Invaders rip-off and such like, but you know they're all loads and loads of fun and just great to pick up and play, and you know a way of getting that in television experience without, you know, spending however much money in television would cost. So yeah, I very rarely see that, so I was chuffed to bits to pick that up anyway. Right, again, this next lot is from the British Heart Foundation, the same shop. I went back a couple of weeks later, and like I say, they didn't have much, you know, the generic PS2 games, but when I see decent PS2 games for a decent price, I'm going to pick them up. And yeah, here's one. Kessen 2. This is basically made by the same people that do Dynasty Warriors. It's kind of like a turn-based strategy game, like set in ancient Japan or ancient China, I'm not quite sure. But it's very much kind of reminiscent of Dynasty Warriors. You know, the kind of character models and the way combat plays out. And you know, I say it is turn-based strategy game, but you can actually go down into the battles and get involved, which kind of gives you more of a feel for the Dynasty Warriors kind of games, you know, when you're out in massive fields of, you know, enemies in front of you and you've just got to battle, you know, what seems like thousands of enemies. And at the time it was quite impressive to see that amount of, you know, enemies on screen at one time. I remember seeing Dynasty Warriors 2 and being blown away by it. And this is very similar. It seems to have a great storyline for the, you know, for the most part, especially what I played. And yeah, just very, you know, strategic and yeah, really, really fun. I didn't think I'd like it that much, because when I first put it in and tried it, I was expecting it to be very much like Dynasty Warriors, so, you know, pretty much button bashing, beating people up, you know, great weapons and stuff. And when I realised it was turn-based strategy, I was a bit put off. But, you know, the kind of animations and the things that go on between, you know, as you take your turn and enter battle with a different, you know, against your enemy, you'll get, you know, like this great cutscene, and it'll, you know, play out in front of you, the battle basically. And yeah, really, really fun from what I played. But I think it needs a lot of time to be invested in it, and maybe I haven't got that time. But chuffed to get it, you know, I love Dynasty Warriors, and yeah, this really reminds us of it. Right, next are two GunCon games for the GunCon 2 on PS2. The first one I got, they're both Namco obviously, Time Crisis 3. God, I love Time Crisis. The original, with the original GunCon on PS1, played it to absolute death. I don't think I've actually owned it, but I know at least two of my friends did, and yeah, we used to have loads of fun with that. So yeah, Time Crisis 3. I don't actually own a GunCon 2. You can play with these with the analog controller, which I've done, and it's quite fun, but now I'm looking for a GunCon 2. I've been on eBay and looked, but you know, I'm a right tight off, so I'm sure I'll pick one up soon enough. But Time Crisis 3, yeah, chuffed to get that, and fun to play with the analog stick anyway. And yeah, Namco goodness. The next one, Namco again, and it's Vampire Knight. Basically the same kind of thing with a GunCon. It's basically, you know, Time Crisis, but with vampires and a kind of, you know, supernatural edge to it. And yeah, loads and loads of fun. You know, you're kind of like a vampire hunter, and basically it's an on-rail shooter, just like Time Crisis, and loads of fun, lots of varied enemies and stuff. But like I say, I haven't got the GunCon 2, so I've only you know, given it a quick go with the analog sticks, and it was quite good. But I'm sure it'll be even better with a GunCon 2 in a CRT TV. Okay then, this next lot, basically, I went to 3 charity shops in a row and I found absolutely nothing, and the last one I went to I managed to score. Basically everything I got here, other than one PS1 game, I got for 50p each. So yeah, I'll start with a PS1 game that I paid £1 for, Toy Story 2. Now, anyone who knows my channel, you know, watches it, knows how much I love like Disney games that are, you know, on PS1. I just absolutely love them to bits. And even finding good movie tie-in games, people who know if they watch this channel, I'm always up for that, and this is yet another one. So I've got a feature episode right here, it's Toy Story 2. Just loads of fun, kind of 3D platformer style, you know, at a time where 3D platformers could either be really, really good or really, really bad, and this is really, really good. So yeah, chuffed to get that. Another Disney game on PS1. I'm sure 50% of my PS1 games are Disney games, but hey ho. Right, next for 50p, Tucker Touring Cars 2. I love my racing game on the PS1, and yeah, I've got the first one, so I thought, screw it, for 50p I'm gonna get the second one as well. Just a really fun racing game, pretty more simulation than arcadey, and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. There's not much more to it, but for 50p, I'm not gonna leave that sat on the shelf like. I'm coming into more PS2 games, like I say, 50p each. I mean, this whole stack basically, I paid £4.50 I think it was, and there's about like 9 games or something here, so chuffed to bits with that. A lot of them I don't know anything about, so I'll tell you about that, and if you know something about them, tell us in the comments. First one, Carmen Sandiego, The Secret of the Stolen Drums. Now, I picked this up because it's Carmen Sandiego, and I was familiar with the Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego cartoon from when I was a kid. And yeah, it was 50p, so when I see PS2 games, if I'd have seen this on the shelf for £2, I'd have probably left it, you know, but when I see them for 50p, I'm picking them up. So it's Carmen Sandiego, Secret of the Stolen Drums. Yeah, and it kind of just looks like a third-person action game. Quite fun, really. Unless the controls are total knackers. If you know something, let us know. 50p, I wasn't leaving it. Next, America's 10 Most Wanted. Now, I've seen this on my hunts all over, but you know, it's usually like £1 and £1.99, but basically, like I say, 50p, I wasn't leaving it there, and I just basically, on the shelves, all I left them with was like FIFA and Pro Evolution games, because for 50p you can't go wrong. America's 10 Most Wanted. I'm pretty sure it's a budget title, and it looks pretty generic and crap on the back. A first person shooter where obviously you're hunting down America's 10 Most Wanted. God, shows the time of release, doesn't it? The early to mid 2000s. Seems quite senseless. Right, next up, XG Racing. I haven't got a clue what it's like, but to be fair, it does look like a kind of Wipeout style game with loads of craziness going on with mad tracks and luminous lights and stuff. I'm sure it's very fast and furious, but don't know nothing about it. Like I say, 50p. Okay, again, a common theme on the channel. PlayStation iToy games. Now, I got Disney Move. Now, anyone who watches the channel again will probably know that I love the iToy. I think it's really underrated, and it was pretty ahead of its time. So, like, a small little thing I've got going is I want to try and, like, you know, collect all of the iToy games and all the little bits and bobs that went with them. And I've seen this before, but it was like £4 in cash converters, and they're usually good for prices, but I'm not willing to pay that, you know what I'm like. So 50p again, I was going to have it, and it's just another thing to add to the PlayStation iToy like collection I've got going. Is Disney, the kids will love that. I mean, more Disney games. And last of all, Winter X Games Snowboarding. Now, this is a snowboarding game by Konami, and you know, snowboarding games round about this time on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 era were really, really good. Now, I've got a PlayStation 1 game called Nagano Winter Olympics 98, and it was done by Konami, and obviously there's a snowboarding game in there to coincide with the Winter Olympics of 1998, and it's really, really good. So I kind of just thought this would be, you know, maybe as an extension of that. And you know, I love the X Games. I used to watch them all the time on Sky when I was in my late teens and stuff. I mean, that's how I knew who Tony Hawk was, even before, you know, the game came out. And yeah, I mean, just the X Games have a lot of warm memories for us, and this is a Konami game, so I was definitely having it for 50p. So I was chuffed to bits to pick all them up. I mean, like I say, that stack I just had there, £4.50. So, I mean, you can't go wrong, you can't leave games on the shelf for that price. So, yeah, I'll leave you like I always do, people, and just say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please hit that like button. If you've enjoyed it in particular, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. And, of course, like always, leave us your comments, people, because I love all your feedback and just having a bit of banter back with you. It's loads of fun interacting with the community. So, yeah, thanks very much for watching, people, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye!